Hey guys, Dave Draper here for ToyWorldOrder.com. And with Rogue One having just opened this last weekend, depending on when this video goes up and when you watch it, thought it might be interesting to take a look at the Death Star. After all, Rogue One is a story about how these Death Star plans end up in R2-D2's. Just like that. But
they end up in his butt!
They end up in his butt! Ah, that's painful. But I thought it might be fun to go back and take a look at the old Death Star playset, which is also, I mean, pretty much the only Death Star playset they've ever really made, at least for the American toy line. So it was 1978. Can of toys. I actually, Christmas 1978, woke up with one of these under the tree in Florida. As you can see, we've got the standard classic Happy Happy Children. And that is, of course, because before George Lucas invented toys in 1978, all we had to play with were rocks and dirt.
That's not true. You had toys of licensed TV shows.
Raccoon skulls, if you were really swanky.
That's not true.
Along the side of the box, you get all the little details of the Death Star PlayStation. Space Station. PlayStation. That's a different thing altogether.
Oh.
And on the back, you get line art of the front photographic art.
Yes, with the kids not looking as creepy as they did on the photography art.
That's because it's like, well, they're not real. They can't be real.
But they're real.
They're real. So why don't we take a look at this beast?
Yes.
Okay, now this is what the pieces look like out of the box, and I wanted to show you this because for years, fans have been begging Hasbro to make another Death Star playset. I mean, just remake the old one, they say. And Hasbro has always insisted that it can't be done. It's too expensive, there's too much stuff, and I really wanted to show you just how little there really is to it. I mean, there's, you know, a couple of printed cardboard pieces, there's like these little thin platforms, I mean, you know, some struts. I mean, the two most complicated things are a box with a screw in it, right, and the turbo lift. And meanwhile, today at Target, the day we're filming this, I finally saw the $300 AT-AT. $300 AT-AT walks. You use a phone app to control it, but you know, the Death Star, which has been in now at least 3 of the 7 movies, plus, you know, was shown up in 2 of the prequels, you know, can't even give us this, but you can give us $300 AT-AT. It's a little meh. And here it is, all put together. You know, I like how they kind of, that's very common in play sets of this age. But I like how they did kind of the kind of curved front of the thing to kind of represent the circular Death Star. As you can see, we've got multiple levels. It's very cool. And there's even the little ledge, and there's a peg for him too, for Obi-Wan climbs on the back and then lowers the tractor beam. But why don't we take a closer look at each level. Alright, so the top level, I already showed you a little bit for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then the other part, obviously, is the... again, man. You know, you get to be 40 years old. You see how well you're doing. Is the Death Star gun. Now, the idea originally, and this works better in my other one. It does not work as well in this one. As you can see, I'm pushing down on a spring-loaded widget. And it's supposed to be that you lock that into place. And then when the rebel troopers fly by, you pull this lever and shablamo! Shaboomy! And then it actually pops off like that.
Yay!
Yay! And of course we got a little Death Star gunner here. Now this was released in 1978. The Death Star gunner was released in 1985.
So
they were a little behind on that one. I don't think there were any more Death Star playsets. I don't think they made them in any other boxes besides Star Wars. So that was a little, unless you kept yours or you were a collector many decades later.
Yes.
It was like, okay, well, thanks for the effort, I guess. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see. Can you see the elevator in the background?
Yep.
All right, so in the background, of course, as I mentioned previously, you're not going to work for me. And there's the elevator.
Yay.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to do the next.
With an Imperial Trooper.
Steve the Death Squad.
Good old Steve.
Good old Steve. All right, so the next section, I'm going to rotate you a little bit.
There's the catwalk.
Is the catwalk. One thing I wanted to talk about was these cool. I mean, it's just like I said before. It's just a strip of cardboard, but it's got that neat.
A lot of details to it.
The neat little graphic designs to it, which I think adds something. We'll leave that off for ease of. But yeah, it's the famous catwalk. It retracts so easily. Ah! And there's a little rope, and this is one of those pieces that just gets lost. But the idea is, even though Luke doesn't have a hand that grasps anything, because that stupid Luke has the lightsaber,
yes,
he's supposed to hold on to it and swing across with Leia, because that's that famous scene.
Yes.
So moving on to the next level, you'll notice that the thing you can actually like lock the elevator into place when it goes to level to level.
Yeah.
Is the control room. And again, we will highlight the cardboard. Obviously, it's during the big final battle. You can see the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing. And it's got that really distinctive kind of red, black, white banding to it. That just screams Death Star. To me, anyway. You've got the little control panels. They're not quite screen accurate. You'll notice that someone didn't bother to put the other stickers on. That's one of the... Steve, cooperate. All right, and then but even though it's the control room...
Turn it towards us just a little bit more there, David.
This way?
Yeah, there you go.
Even though it's the control room, it's got this little hatch. That didn't make my heart skip. That drops you right into the garbage masher.
Oh no. Now the garbage masher.
All right.
And then the garbage masher.
And then the garbage masher, and of course we don't really need any of this.
Nope. Yeah, there it goes.
6. And as I said earlier, it's just an orange box. Now, it came with some foam originally.
The foam deteriorates.
Garbage. Oh yeah, I think I threw that away.
Yeah.
It was nasty. But yeah, you close the door.
You can make your own foam now, people.
Yeah. Assuming the latches work, which they don't. Of course, it did come with the monster.
Yeah.
This is based on the original. These things are done so far out. The castaways describe the actual monster prop as a big turd, and that's
kind of what it looks like.
I know what it looks like. A little mouth, a little eyeball. Yeah, and then.
Sorry, Steve.
And basically, just turn the screw. Turn the screw. However, and then that pops open because 20-year-old plastic. The thing is, this always bugged me. That's as far as it goes.
Oh.
That's as far as it goes. Now, back in the day, back in 1978, when this was all filled with foam, like it would eventually cause the door to pop open.
Right.
But it's just kind of like, you can't even squash them.
Poor Steve.
Poor Steve. So as I said, this is basically the only Death Star really playset that they did. Yeah, it's still not working right. In America, obviously, I mentioned before the really kind of crummy Hasbro ones that were play sets. However, as a special Christmas miracle,
I love Christmas miracles.
We have another one for you. All the way from England and or Australia if you're an annoying guy trying to screw up a sale at King County. This is the Palitoy or Toy Death Star. No, chipboard.
They're both the same thing.
They're the same freaking thing. As you can see, they went full circular on theirs.
Yes, they did.
And there's just all this neat art. It's in rough shape, but it's a rare. Again, man, it's cardboard from the 70s. Give me a break, and shipped from overseas. And we will actually do as in-depth a little look at this guy as we did at the Kenner one. So, just as with the Kenner one, we start on top with this gun. As you can see, it's a little kind of not quite the same thing that the Kenner one had. These are actually X-Wing guns. And this is just a little piece of really cheap plastic that sets in there.
Think Halloween mask plastic.
Halloween mask plastic, and then you put your little Death Star gunner, as I said earlier. This little canopy just closes over him to protect him from space. It's it's cute. It's whatever. It's a gun.
It's a chipboard playset.
Yeah. We have the hangar bay, and here's where I think this is probably my favorite. This is the part that faces out in my collection because I think it's the coolest. I love that there's this little, kind kind of open walkway up above with the windows. You can look down. I love the forced perspective of the elevator shaft in the bottom, where the troops come up at the end. It's just, there's a lot of neat little details.
Like the art of the stormtroopers there on your left side.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to see what I'm dealing with here. Moving over here, we have a little control room on the bottom with more little Death Star troopers.
Yeah.
And the upper part tends to be kind of just like little hallways or corridors or rooms.
With some little details here and there.
There's little details here and there. There's a little stormtrooper standing on guard. There's little things that say alarm. Again, some more corridors. There's a little, you are here map of the Death Star.
Yes.
I'm probably going to have to get up for this one.
Which is pretty entertaining.
I'm sure. But you can see there's the chute, the garbage compactor.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. And of course, this is the jail cell. Like I didn't see the bed because it's on the she's got the bed and she's got the little thing.
Yeah.
And this is the garbage compactor, which of course is again a feature in just about every Death Star playset. No monster this time, but the walls do kind of close in.
Yep. I could say you've got him on the wrong side for the garbage.
Well, I'm not sure.
There we go.
There we go. All right. Take two.
Take two. There he goes.
Hey, sticks again. Curse you, Steve.
Go down the garbage chute, Steve. Yay.
So now he's in the garbage. He's like, yay, I'm in the garbage.
And then the doors.
And then the doors.
No.
Oh, unlike the Hasbro or unlike the Kenner one, Freudian slip, it actually goes all the way.
Yes, it does.
Because British kids don't play around.
No, poor Steve. He didn't know what was coming.
And this door. Let's see if you can. We'll flip it around. That door actually comes off.
Yes.
It's a separate piece that pops off. It's pretty easy to lose. You might notice little tears and rips here and there. It's chipboard, man.
It's chipboard. These were not made to last.
It's chipboard, shipped overseas, 40 years old.
Yes.
So a lot of you probably weren't even born when this thing was made. But it is a very, very, very cool playset. And I think a worthy addition to any Star Wars collection.
I think you're right, David. And it's one of those pieces that are, even depending on if you get the Toy or you get the Palitoy, they're both very hard and difficult to come by, but they are worth it for any Star Wars collector wanting to complete his vintage collection.
And it's a beautiful display.
Yes.
And there you go. There you have it. The two real Death Star playsets that they ever built. Again, we will never speak of the Hasbro abominations again. Now, there are other... Obviously, there was the Micro Collection Death Star. There's a Lego Death Star, which you may have already seen or may see soon here on Toy World Order. And just this year, they came out with a papercraft Death Star that's really just the throne room. But it's neat. It's a neat display. But yeah, I mean, for such an iconic piece of Star Wars, it is weird that we only really got the two playsets. And one of them we didn't get. But I hope you enjoy this little look at these cool vintage toys. And for Toy World Order and Jason Duvall, I'm Dave Draper, and keep playing with your toys.